other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Now a handoff here to his running back. About 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. Give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Preston Smith there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
That good for 22 and a 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From the 25 on second down, Rodgers. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's taken down here by the Saints. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. It doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Complete to Jones. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. This is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, He needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking out extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Let's go. Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Or it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So a tough pill to swallow there. Would be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
From the 17, Rodgers, throw left side complete. It's Francis. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Packers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. And again this time to the tailback. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
It's important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this window is running back out of the backfield. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. And this man complete over the middle. It's Francis. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Throwing is Rodgers. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline.